Why legacy planning starts before you think you need it. Because waiting until you have time is the fastest way to lose control. Most people think legacy planning is something you do when you're older or wealthier, or when your CPA gives you that look at tax time. You know the one. But here's the reality. Waiting until you need a legacy plan is the surest way to lose control over everything you've worked so hard to build. Legacy isn't about what happens after you're gone. It's about the choices you make while you're still here. What is legacy planning really? Hint, it's not just legal documents. When most people hear legacy planning, their mind jumps to wills, trusts, and maybe a binder collecting dust in the top drawer. And while those documents matter, they're just the end result. Real legacy planning starts much earlier, when you ask questions like, what do I want this wealth to mean for my family? What values should carry forward after I'm gone? How do I ensure the business I built doesn't just survive, but continues to thrive without me? I often say that legacy planning isn't a legal decision, it's a leadership decision. The mechanics of transferring wealth are easy. Transferring vision, clarity, and responsibility, that takes time, thought, and intention. The hidden cost of delaying legacy planning. There's always a reason to put this off. I'm too busy. The business comes first. We're not quite there yet. I get it, but here's the reality. Waiting too long creates unnecessary risk. And I don't mean market risk or tax exposure. I'm talking about emotional, operational, and relationship risks. Your family is left guessing about your intentions and second-guessing each other. Your financial, legal, and tax professionals operate in silos, often with conflicting advice. If you own a business, succession becomes a scramble, not a strategy. Your children, whether they're involved in the business or not, may not be prepared for the responsibility wealth brings. This isn't a theory. I've seen businesses implode because no one wanted to have the conversation while things were still calm. What could have been a coordinated transition turns into a courtroom drama, a fire sale, or a family fracture that never fully heals. You don't need a billion-dollar family office, just a coordinated team. There's a misconception that legacy planning is only important when you're ultra-wealthy, the kind of person with a monogrammed family office and a private chef for the estate lawyer. Let's clear this up. The most effective families I've worked with don't wait until they hit 9-figure valuations. They think like a family office early, even if their assets are still growing. What does that look like? Their CPA, attorney, advisor, and insurance pro talk to each other. Their estate plan doesn't sit in a drawer. It gets revisited as life evolves. They don't rely on one professional to figure it all out. And most importantly, they take the time to clarify what matters most, not just what gets taxed. Legacy isn't just about dollars, it's about direction. How to prepare your heirs and why it starts now. One of the most overlooked parts of legacy planning is preparing your heirs. Many parents, especially business owners, avoid these conversations, usually because they don't want to spoil their kids or because they think talking about money will create entitlement. But here's the truth. Silence creates confusion, not character. When heirs don't know what's coming or why decisions were made the way they were, they're left to guess. That's where resentment brews. That's where siblings stop speaking. That's where good families get tangled in bad outcomes. Educating your heirs doesn't mean handing over checkbooks. It means helping them understand the origin story of your wealth, the values that guided your decisions, the purpose behind the plan, their role, or lack thereof, in future leadership or ownership. Yes, prepare your assets for your heirs. But more importantly, prepare your heirs for your assets. What successful business owners do differently? The most successful business owners I work with, and I'm not just talking about money here, tend to do 3 things consistently when it comes to legacy. 1. They start early. Not because they have to, but because they want to lead intentionally. 2. They build a financial team that communicates. The strategy doesn't happen in isolation. 3. They involve the next generation, not all at once and not in every detail, but enough to build confidence, not confusion. These owners don't just transfer assets, they transfer wisdom. How to start your legacy planning this quarter. If legacy planning has been on your I'll get to it someday list, here's your simple starting point. Block time for one intentional conversation with your spouse or partner about your values and vision. Make a list of your current financial professionals. Are they working together or in silos? Schedule a family conversation, even if it's awkward. Draft a living legacy letter that outlines what really matters to you. Review your estate plan before the end of the quarter, not when someone passes away. Legacy isn't built all at once, but it is built on purpose. Closing thought. You've spent a lifetime building. Now make it last. Look, this isn't about fear, it's about clarity. You've already done the hard part, building something worth protecting. Now, the next step is to ensure that your values, your voice, and your vision extend beyond your lifetime. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to start. Because when it comes to legacy, later is often too late.